Okay, we are now going to discuss how to set up Wendy's programmatic messaging sequence. So when you're in your dashboard, go down to Wendy settings. Scroll down, and this is a sequence of automated messages that Wendy will be sending to patients. So pretty simple once you wrap your head around it. If somebody goes to your website and the chatbot pops up, Wendy will greet somebody with this message. You can change this to anything. We've even had providers change Wendy's name. You could have, "Hi, I'm Wendy. If this is an emergency, call 911. Otherwise, blah, blah, blah." But you can customize anything here. One thing I wouldn't change is this question. This actually gives Wendy very important information, but the rest of this can be customized. If somebody says that they are a new patient, then Wendy will welcome them. "Nice to meet you. Here are a few questions to get started." And then, as I said, you can customize this, but then Wendy will drive them to fill out the inquiry form, which is very logical. That is the form that asks somebody what their clinical needs are, what their birthday is, how they're paying for care, fundamental information. If somebody calls you, you can choose to have Wendy send them a text instantly, no matter what. You get a phone call, person's getting a text just from Wendy. If you miss a phone call, this is the message that Wendy will text message to somebody. "Hi, thanks for calling. Sorry we missed you. I'm Wendy. Here are some questions to get started." It's basically just a different intro message because it's a different communications channel, but Wendy will then drive them to fill out the inquiry form. This here is your voicemail. So right now, Wendy doesn't have the ability for you to record your own voicemail, but you can type in anything you want here, and a lovely woman's robot voice will read it. So this is your Wendy voicemail. Put in anything that you want. Always hit save as you go. It can be very annoying if you don't do that and you lose everything. After the welcome message and somebody fills out the inquiry form, now you have a series of responses to the inquiry form. So open this up. Here's how these work. If somebody does not have even one clinical issue that overlaps with what you treat, then and only then will Wendy tell them that they're not a good fit for your practice. So you can make this say anything you want. We'll get in touch with you shortly and provide some referrals, something like that. Contact form. That makes sense. If somebody is a clinical fit for your practice and they said they are paying with health insurance, then Wendy will send this particular message and ask them to fill out the benefits form. If somebody is a clinical fit and said self-pay, Wendy will send this particular message. You can make it say anything you want, but logically, if they said they're self-pay and you explain your fee schedule, the only next thing to do is schedule their first appointment. If somebody is a clinical fit but said they have Medicaid, this is the particular message that is sent. Now, this message is dynamic and will change based on whether or not you take Medicaid. But a very logical way to set this up is that anytime somebody isn't a fit for you based on insurance or like having Medicaid, Medicare, or TRICARE, always tee them up or offer them a self-pay option. So what I would do if I was setting Wendy up for my practice, someone has Medicaid, I don't take Medicaid. Thanks for that. Unfortunately, we aren't able to accept Medicaid. However, we might be able to figure out a self-pay arrangement. These are our rates. If that works for you, let's go ahead and schedule your first appointment or set up a consultation, drive them into the scheduling form. You can do the same thing with Medicare and TRICARE, right? If somebody's unable, or if you're unable to take somebody's type of insurance, offer them private pay, see if that works. Drive them into your scheduling form. And if they drop off here, then so be it. They didn't want to schedule because they can't afford you. No cash or insurance. It's a very strange option, but people may check it. You could offer them some public resource, give them a link to another website, tell them you'll get in touch, probably get their contact info, reach out to them if you can. Now, after somebody provides their insurance information, which is probably going to be one of your more common use cases, Wendy has a sequence of responses based on the results of a eligibility check. In the event that you can take their health plan, this is the message Wendy sends. Thanks, looks like your plan will cover treatment with us. This little payment terms thing is code that enables Wendy to read an eligibility check and tell somebody their unmet deductible and their copay or co-insurance rate for mental health services. If you're a mental health provider, I've rarely, if ever, seen one that doesn't insert payment terms. If you're not a mental health provider, for the time being, I would just delete this because it's going to be a little funky for your patients to get told what their outpatient mental health copay is. Um, we're going to make that a lot more robust over the next quarter, but that's how that works. So thanks. Looks like your insurance plan will cover treatment with us. After you meet the remaining X dollars of your deductible, you'll have a co-insurance rate of X%. Let's go ahead and schedule your first appointment. Scheduling form. Insurance not a match. This is where Wendy has determined that they have a plan that will not cover your services. In all likelihood, an HMO that you are not in network with. Once again, I would offer them private pay. Thanks for that. We specialize in treating the issues you're struggling with, but unfortunately can't accept your insurance coverage. We have private pay options. This is what they are. If that works for you, let's go ahead and set up your first appointment. Drive them to scheduling form. Insurance could not be verified. This is generally when somebody mistypes their own member ID or gets their own birthday wrong or something. Thanks, I wasn't able to successfully verify your benefits. Maybe you entered your policy info incorrectly. Please confirm and resubmit your insurance. You could also say, or text us a photo of the front and back of your insurance card. I would also say, alternatively, we have private pay options. Here's what they are. If interested, go ahead and set up your first appointment or a consultation and drive them into the scheduling form. Insurance not active. This is a successful eligibility check where we are able to read their plan data and their plan is not active, in which case I would kindly offer them a private pay option and drive them into your scheduling experience, knowing if they can't afford it, they're probably just not going to proceed, and that's totally fine. And then scheduling form, after someone schedules something, Wendy can send this message. Thanks. Look forward to speaking with you soon. So those are the basics. We're going to add a lot more functionality over time, but it is pretty helpful and can definitely automate what is probably otherwise taking a lot of phone calls and messages and manual effort.